Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to everyone. I hope that all the participants for the courses that enroll in PKT are doing well. And then for today's lessons, I'm going to cover the topic of inbound and outbound logistics, which is under module number 1, warehouse operations, strategic material handling in inventory management. So I'm sure that all of you have been exposed to hands-on practice in PKT logistics. And then I just want to cover this topic about inbound and outbound logistics. All right. So basically, this is a very important topic because we're dealing with inbound and outbound logistics where we receive and we also need to redistribute whatever good or product that arrive at our warehouse. So inbound and outbound logistics will driving to operational excellence. Yeah, it's a strategic analysis for enhanced supply chain synergy. Yeah, my name is Kasmaruddin Sheikh Hussein from Ministry Malaysia Kelantan. All right, so for the agenda for today, we're going to talk about introduction and overview. We have to understand what the importance and the overview of this topic. And then we're going to talk about the definition of inbound logistics as well as outbound logistics. After that, we're going to go through the comparative analysis between the key differences and strategic applications, best practice integration strategy, future trends, innovation, and then we also will cover a little bit about just-in-time, yeah, JIT, strategy to reduce inventory and ensure material arrive at the right time. Yeah, this will help us to minimize the quantity of the inventory in our warehouse. So let's go to our view first. The first one, we're talking about the context of evolving supply chains require dynamic and agile logistic strategies. Yeah, this is very important to ensure that the strategy that we implement will help us to stay relevant and then dynamic in the logistic strategies. Yeah. So the objective of this topic is to analyze how inbound and outbound logistics contribute to competitive differentiations. Yeah. Vision is to leverage cutting-edge operational framework to enhance overall supply chain resilience. Yeah. So let's go to the definition of inbound logistics first, right? So in defining the inbound logistic, we look at the management of material and key supplier relationships. So if you look here, the key component of defining inbound logistics is procurement, strategies, and supplier collaboration. So we buy something from the supplier and then they send to us. Yeah. So that's what we call it the supplier collaboration here. Yeah. We are collaborate with the supplier to send us whatever product that we order from them. Okay. And it also involves the transportation and receiving process. This is the keyword here when we're talking about receiving process because inbound logistics is about we are receiving the material that we order from the supplier. Okay. And then whenever we receive the inventory, that involves inventory management and the quality control as well. Yeah. So the strategic impact of it will be enhancing cost efficiency and ensure timely availability of the input. Number two, we talk about outbound logistics. All right, outbound logistics is about distributions and delivery of finished product to customer. So this is the keyword for outbound logistics. Before this, we talk about inbound logistics, meaning to say that receiving the material from supplier to us, and then we do some value-added process. And once the product is finished, now we send it back to our customer. So this is what outbound logistics is all about. Yeah, the distributions and the delivery of our finished product to the customer. All right, and then the key component of outbound logistics is the first one is order fulfillments. We need to fulfill the orders by customer, and we also need to find and use the distribution channels that the best to arrive to the customer. Right. The second one is transportation management. So of course, when we want to deliver the product to the customer, we need to find what is the best option that we have to choose the kind of transportation mode, yeah, to arrive or to reach the customer. And then we're talking about customer service and reverse logistics. So reverse logistics is talking about if customer need to return the product to us, that's what we refer to reverse logistics, right? So the strategic impact of it, the driving customer satisfactions and fostering brand loyalty through optimized delivery processes. So this is very important, ladies and gentlemen, because outbound logistics is talking about how you move the product from your factory or from your warehouse to the doorstep of your customer, right? So if you do it very well, fast delivery, it will lead to customer satisfaction as well as it will help to foster the brand loyalty among the customer. Okay, now we talk about comparative analysis between inbound versus outbound logistics, right? So if you look at the operational dynamic here, all right, if you look at the operational dynamic here, inbound logistics, they are focused on cost minimizations, yeah, minimize, to minimize the cost, yeah, quality assurance, as well as supplier synergy. So we understand from the slide before, inbound logistics is talking about receiving the product from our supplier. So of course, we try to minimize the cost so that we can have the proper, a good profit margin. All right. The quality assurance and supplier synergy is very important to make sure that our supplier can make a timely delivery, yeah, to our warehouse so that we can do whatever that we need to do. Uh, the another side is the outbound logistic. We're talking about the operational dynamic is prioritizing or prioritize the speed, customer satisfaction, and market responsiveness. So you know that the outbound logistic is talking about sending out whatever order that we receive to our customer. So we need to make sure that we do the fast delivery to the customer so that customer will happy, customer will satisfied with our service, that because they lead to customer satisfaction as well as market responsiveness. So if you look here, in terms of the key differentiator, the first one is timing and synchronization in supply chain, variability in process complexity and risk management, and the impact on cash flow and inventory management strategy, right? So if you look at here, okay, both functions are interdependent to achieve the competitive edge, yeah? So inbound is very important and outbound is very important as well. So if you receive the inbound logistic not in the good way, so it will affect how you're going to do the outbound logistics. So both of them are interdependent and interrelated to achieve a competitive edge of the company. All right, so here is the strategy implication and integration for inbound and outbound logistics. The first one is the need to seamless integration between both, yeah, inbound and outbound operations. So integration here that I mentioned before, this is talking about interrelated and interdependent between these two functions. It needs to be uh, integrate very well so that whatever input coming need to come in a good way in a timely basis, have a good cooperations and synergy with the supplier, and then you do some value added process and the way you need to transform or you need to send it back to the customer in a good way as well, yeah. So the innovation driver, the first one, it can be automation or digital transformation in logistic processes. So this will help to avoid the human error, yeah. And the second one is enhancing visibility through IoT and AI, artificial intelligence driven forecast model. Yeah, so adopt integrated logistic framework that unifies supplier management. This will help to fulfillment the maximize the operational synergy in the inbound and outbound logistic. So this is what you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen. uh, the synergy or the integration between inbound and outbound logistics is very, very important because it will affect how you're going to serve your customer. It will affect your customer satisfaction. Yeah. So handling inbound logistics and outbound logistics need to be very carefully considered, and then need to use the integration between Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and whatever digital transformation in logistics to ensure that the product will run effectively and smoothly. All right. So this is the future trend and innovation talking about the sustainability and green logistics. But what I want to stress more here is on JIT. This is also a subtopic of material flow management when we're talking about just-in-time approach. So this is very related to inventory management because JIT is approach that or strategy that fall under inventory management, which aim to reducing the waste by receiving goods only as they are needed in the production process, thus minimize inventory costs, right? So here is the how JIT work. Yeah. So the key principle of JIT is eliminate waste, improve qualities, reduce lead time, and encourage supplier collaboration. Okay. So just in time, meaning to say that supplier send or deliver the product to you at the right time whenever you need it. Okay, they're not selling in bulky size in a huge quantity, and you have to keep it in your store or in your warehouse. So this is will incur another extra cost, right? So by doing that, you will have to take care of the inventory by yourself. Yeah, but just in time is something that you need to have a good collaboration with your supplier, because supplier will know when the exactly times you will use the inventory. So you do not need to keep it the inventory in your warehouse. So for example, they may able to send you on daily basis. So for example, you need a fresh meat or vegetable or poultry or whatever product, they will send you in the early in the morning. So you use it for the whole day of production and it's over. You don't need to keep it. And tomorrow morning, the supplier come again, bring the fresh product, bring the fresh input so that you can do the operations on the following days. So no need to keep it, the stock in your store in your warehouse. Yeah. So as I mentioned, this is how it works. It's focused on reducing inventory storage because you have to understand if you keep it the inventory in your warehouse, it will incur additional costs. Yeah, because you need to take care of it. And some of the cases, there might be some intruder that may become and steal the product, or there might be some issue with the pest control and so on, right? So order are placed based on demand. You do not to keep it the stock. Whenever you need it, the supply will send to you. Yeah. So that's why, as I mentioned, we need a close collaborations, yeah, with the supplier for timely delivery. So supplier must be willing, and they also need to have a very good system so that they can send it to you whenever you need it. So benefit of just in time in terms of the approach or the strategy in the inventory management. The first one, it will promote the lower inventory cost because you do not need to hold the inventory. The supplier will send to you whenever you need it. It will reduce the waste because you use whatever that been delivered. There are no waste that need to be bear the cost by the manufacturer. You have the better cash flow because you just pay for one day use and tomorrow they come again with a fresh product. So you do not need to invest, you don't need to pay a lot of money for the huge quantity of inventory that you may not use for 1 or 2 months. Yeah. And the last one is, of course, they offer the higher efficiency. But they also come with the challenges in GIT. The first one is require accurate demand forecasting. These need to be communicated with your supplier very well because they need to know exactly how much you want the supplier deliver to you. Yeah, so this require accurate demand forecasting so that you will not receive excessive quantity of product or the shortage of the product. Okay. Um, The second challenges of GIT is vulnerability to supply chain distributions, meaning to say that you really depend on supplier to send or to deliver the product to you every single day. Yeah. So if anything happened to your supplier, they cannot deliver the fresh product to you on the daily basis, and you mess up because the production cannot be run. You don't have any stock. Yeah. So that is the challenges of GIT. And this also required a strong supplier relationships with uh, ourselves as a manufacturer. Yeah, a strong supplier relationship here is very crucial. It's very important because uh, we rely on them so much. Yeah, because whatever happened to them, it will affect our productions as well as it will interrupt our production process. Right. So I think that's all for this topic for today, talking about inbound logistic, the outbound logistic, as well as just-in-time approach in reducing the inventory level to make sure that the product arrive at the right time, right? Uh, Along with this video, if you need further explanations, I also put the YouTube link that you may use to see the illustrations and a few other important points to give you more comprehension about inbound and outbound logistics as well as just-in-time approach. Uh, I hope that this session benefit you, give you some ideas after you've been through the hands-on practice at PKD Logistics, and then giving you a clear picture while talking about material flow management in inventory management. With that, thank you very much.